Hello, beautiful friends. How are you all doing today? How's your inner child doing? Even better question. When was the last time that you checked in with your inner child? Nay? I check in with mine on a daily basis, mostly because I play for a living. And I've been using these inner child cards, which have a lot of fairy tales on them, for a long time. It is my oldest tarot deck that I've been working with for 13 years. And when I first got the deck, I made a whole show about them. It was called Fairy Tales End. So, fun little fact. It was fully inspired by that. Anyway, I'm feeling called to do a clear reading today for our inner children. So I believe this is going to be a 3-card spread, but we'll see where it takes us. And the intention is to connect and to do some healing work with our inner children. So we're going to start out with connecting with the past energies. So if there's anything from the past that the inner child wants to bring up, excellent. Okay. And now if there's anything in the present the inner child wants to work on, okay. And of course, anything in the future to be addressed. All right, so we're starting off today with the fairy godmother. Now, this came up in a reading I did not too long ago for the divine masculine. And the message that came through at that time was talking a lot about like reconnecting to that intuitive self, connecting to the world of dreams, visions, not only in the night, but during the day, the parts of us that urge to wish. So I feel like the invitation here from the inner child is indeed about connecting with the wistful parts of yourself. So why don't we just take a moment and maybe you want to journal today. I extend that as an invitation, or maybe just sit with the feelings, but sit with that inner child, and you can find it at a certain age if you want, or maybe it's just a general essence of you throughout your youthful days. But sit with that child. Maybe visualize yourselves in an enchanted meadow or a place that you like to play when you were a kid. And reconnect to that essence of how did you play when you were in that general state? Were you full in that imaginative realm? Were you planning your future? Were you present in the intricacies of what was right in front of you? This is our powerful inner child, our empowered inner child. I think so often when we do inner healing, we're working with the wounded inner child. But sometimes the invitation is really to connect with the part of us that is full and embodied and playful and loving and doesn't have a care in the world. And what were the wishes of that inner child? What did they want to become when they got older? What were the things that were important to them? They really love a certain type of animal. They help out in some way with their community or within their household. This is the invitation to connect with the past, the empowered inner child. So you can stay present with this because I think it's going to inform what comes next. What comes next is the Knight of Wands, the Seeker of Wands, all right? And this is, we're dealing with the present. And what I kind of like about this card and what's coming up for me is she feels more older. So as we connect this to the inner child, it might be more of the inner teen connecting with this as it relates to the present. Now, the Seeker of Wands is, of course, a messenger, and this is also the card of Dorothy and Toto, getting ready to get on this air balloon to fly back to Kansas, leaving Emerald City, when she realizes that the power has been within her all along. All right, so how this applies to the present moment is there's no place like home, right? It's connecting to that inner wisdom within. And I think that as we work with this energy today, the invitation is to connect with all of the versions of yourself throughout time, all of your years of growing, of expanding, and coming home to with all of those aspects of you. Maybe sometimes you were a little shit. Maybe sometimes you were the best angels. Maybe sometimes you were really helpful. Sometimes you were really stubborn. Connect with all these parts of you throughout time. Might be a little gap in the video. I accidentally pressed up. So we were connecting with all of ourselves throughout all of time. And what a beautiful way to do this. Through the presence of the inner child, the inner teenager, who's realizing that there really is no place like home. And I think the invitation with the present in combining all of these components of yourself is integrating you as a whole. You are a whole for everything that you have been, everything that you will be. You are whole as you come back right here to the present moment. Coming back to your heartbeat, coming back to this clear, expansive mind. Opening up, feeling illuminated, feeling loving, feeling open, feeling wise, feeling comfortable with the discomfort because you've been through it before and you've made it. There's also an invitation in this card if you have a small creature in your life. Maybe it's a dog, maybe it's a cat. But really taking a little extra time to be present with them, to be present and playful. The image reminds me of a game I play with my dog where I kind of like kick his little feet and then he kind of comes back and, you know, and then we start playing with a ball and it, you know, it's lots of fun and it's just like this little kind of game. And it kind of reminds me of that. So how can you engage in, with play with the tinier things in your life? It could also be a child, an actual human child, or many children. It's this invitation to play, to explore, to see life with more curiosity, with more light. Really good. Okay, we're going to move on into the future. And the invitation, I believe, from the inner child here is 5 of Swords. So as this connects to the future, I feel like the invitation from the inner child is coming around this place of the mental energies of the Swords and of the vibration of 5, which means change. So I feel like this is a heads up from your inner child that a perspective for you is about to shift and change. And the invitation in the card, in the medicine, is to connect with your spirit animals. And this is a strong message for me because sea lions have always been, or seals have always been one of my spirit animals. But the invitation here from the inner child is to connect to whatever spirit animal is yours. To ground in nature. And I'm getting this really strong image, and this might be something you can do in this moment, or maybe you do something later, or maybe as you find yourself in this near, not so far future. But that you take a rock and you put it on your third eye. And you rest with those energies right there on the third eye. So let's see if I had an example. So actually I have a seeing stone here. So, you know, you could sit and do this. You could also find a big boulder or an edge of a cliff and then put your head on there. And what I'm seeing as the guidance from the inner child is some of the energies of the earth, the stability of that will help break up old mental patterns. So just by putting a rock on our head, mental patterns can be broken. And that feels really good. Awesome. Well, those were just some quick little bits of wisdom and healing and love and invitations from our inner child. I encourage you to connect with your inner child every day, all the time. And whenever you're able is always great. The more we bring that essence of play and curiosity into our lives, the more expansive and joyful our lives become. So I wish you many blessings today. I hope this was helpful. If it was, please make sure that you like and subscribe to this channel. And if you're curious and want to get more in depth into the inner children realm or inner youth realm, please reach out, prismhealers@gmail.com, and we can discuss what it would be like to have a reading together and what we want to look at and focus on. A clue reading, of course. They're all healing and helpful. All right, well, many blessings. Aho.